Hey everybody, it's John Metz, student anthropologist, psychologist, and historian at Ashford University. This is a project for Anthropology 234, Family, Kin, and Groups. For this project, I'll be comparing the Inuit Arctic culture with the Native American Cherokee Indian. The Inuits are commonly known as Eskimos, although that term is not used much today. Their location is above the tree line in northwestern Canada, Greenland, and Alaska. The number of people estimated to speak the language or some dialect of Inupiaq is roughly about 75,000. Their language is also quite enigmatic. It involves a number of different dialects that are somewhat interrelated, but from one tribe or one kin group to another, it varies greatly to the point where one might not even understand the other. So there's several names. They're quite difficult to pronounce. They're depending on who you ask and where you're at the time, they'll tell you a different name for the Inuit language. In terms of the dominant religion, you'd have to say it's Christianity, because a great number of them have adopted Christianity to some degree into their traditional belief systems. However, they do not engage in what we would think of as traditional or theological worship of any kind for the most part. Their beliefs are based on oral mythologies that are passed down from generations. The cosmology is based on ritual, spirituality, animism, and shamanism. They have different spirits named for different elements, different parts of nature, different animals, etc. They're very superstitious. They're very fearful people when it comes to the supernatural. Their ethnic composition is something else that's pretty enigmatic as well. They are believed to descend from the Thule culture, but not much is known about their origins either. We do know that about 1000 AD there was a crossing from Asia, the Siberia region, into Alaska, so we have to assume that their ethnicity has some basis in Asia. The Native American Cherokee Indian started out life based in Georgia, the Carolinas, Tennessee, and Kentucky, but during the Indian Removal Act of 1830, they were forced to actually walk to Oklahoma, what's now known as the Trail of Tears, because so many died on the grueling journey during the winter. That's still a major part of Cherokee history and something that is commemorated regularly by all Cherokee. The Cherokee Nation itself is based in Oklahoma, with approximately 317,000 among their numbers, while there's also an eastern band of Cherokee who reside in basically the traditional area of the Cherokee. They number 16,000 plus. Their home base is in North Carolina, but they do have land holdings all over Tennessee, the Carolinas, Georgia, Kentucky, and elsewhere. Their language is traditionally was the Iroquoian language, which is shared by a number of other Native American cultures, but today most Cherokee speak English primarily. Their dominant religion is not really a religion either. They have oral traditions in the form of stories, myths, and legends that follow principles of shamanism, animism, nature worship, etc. That is a big part of their cosmology. Their ethnic composition was pretty much consistent and stayed pretty pure up until the Europeans arrived in North America. The Cherokee were not commonly known to interbreed with other tribes, nor was it acceptable for them to interbreed amongst clan groups. You didn't even necessarily have to be a blood relative, but if you were part of the same clan, of which they have 7, it was frowned upon greatly if you were to marry or interbreed that way. Today, the Cherokees have representations of virtually every other ethnic culture that has come to North America in history. Comparing these two cultures is interesting to me because the Cherokee are a very scattered tribe, the Inuit are a very isolated tribe. So it should be an interesting comparison. I hope I can make it interesting for all of us.